Hi there, and welcome to Tennis Volley Talk. Brian Danielson. With this episode today, I'm going to just kind of be talking a little bit about some of the tournaments that have just finished playing, such as the Billie Jean King Cup and also the Davis Cup. Then, which the Italians that ended up winning both the Billie Jean King Cup, that is kind of like a Davis Cup for the women. Jasmine Paolini ended up winning. She beat Jessica Pegula, and that's a surprise because Jessica has been playing pretty good. But she played very well to beat her, and then Emma Navarro lost in that too, which she seemed to be a little bit better, as good of a player as the one that beat her, but she probably could have done a little bit better. But that could be that they were tired through the whole year. Could have been that. And then the men actually ended up winning the Italian and the Davis Cup side, and they had a very good year too, along with the mixed doubles Italian team of Sara Errani, which is also Jasmine Paolini from Italy, her doubles partner when they play doubles in the major tournaments, Australian and French Open and Wimbledon and then the US Open. But also with that, along with Andre Vasarori, and he's an Italian, her mixed doubles partner, which they've won a few tournaments too. Actually, they won the 2025 mixed doubles tournament that they had before the regular US Open started. So that ended up being a very good team together to win the doubles there. And with that, it just ended up being all the way around very good. Right now, like I said, it's been kind of a slow after everything kind of finished. It's been slow with the tennis because right now on the Tennis Channel 2, you've been catching a lot of reruns, the French Open, some of the French Open from 2013 with the real young-looking Novak Djokovic, young McEnroe, and Ted Robinson, and some of those guys, and then seeing those, matches are kind of nice to see, and see how they play the ball. Still, with thinking back then, that was the top three, which were Novak Djokovic and Rafa Nadal and Roger Federer. So with that, it just is kind of nice to see. But that's kind of a lull time right now with the realm of then kind of watching some of that old tennis being played. But in January, now what they're going to be doing also in January, that's going to be the starting of the road to the Australian Open in Melbourne. So basically what it is, it's going to start, and Open begins with the United Cup, which is a mixed team effort for the United Cup, and that starts in January. And then there's in Brisbane, and then International and Adelaide International and the Hobart International. And those are all played then before the Melbourne tournament there for the Australian Open. So, but yeah, you podcasters out there, like, subscribe, and comment on my channel with that, with the channel. And then also you podcasters out there, you're going to be seeing the racket of the week or hearing about the racket of the week. And if you want to take a look at it, go to my tennis podcast channel, Tennis Volley Talk, with that. But then also there's going to be an interesting event here coming up, and it's being hyped. And I don't know how many people are going to watch it. I'll probably watch it just to see. But the Arena Sabalenka and Nick Kyrgios match between the two of them. So Nick is coming back into tennis again, and he's going to be playing a few exhibitions along with some other tennis players. Alcaraz is going to be playing, and then Coco Gauff, Jessica Pegula, Amanda Anisimova. She will be playing some exhibitions just for fun and just kind of a relaxed atmosphere. It does make it pretty good and fun to see their personalities also with that. But what do you think? Because what they're doing is they're going to be, they narrow it down to one serve each, and then they also shorten the court on Kyrgios's side, so she can have a better chance of winning a point with him having the shorter side, and maybe have to run a little bit more with that. But what do you think of that new kind of format, and who do you think is going to win? I think Nick Kyrgios will probably still win. He can probably overpower her. So we'll see. But what I would kind of like and see and take it as an kind of an even field. And what do you guys think about this? Is if they had a bit like a battle of the sexes again, but have it like it was with Bobby Riggs and Billie Jean King, and have it with a 50-plus pro player that's really still good and can hit the ball good, and then play against one of the younger tennis players like Arena or something like that. I think that would be a pretty good match to see with that, because how with Jimmy Connors and played Martina Navratilova, and Jimmy Connors just took care of her, but they were about the same age too. So with that too, I think that'd be kind of an interesting match to see, just for the fun of it, and see if a 50-plus player that's still pretty good player in his own right could take on Arena and see how he could do. And I think it'd come out pretty good. Somebody like maybe Agassi or somebody like that, in that area. So, maybe a little older, but, that would be an interesting match to see with that. So with that, who do you think is gonna play or win that match with the Battle of the Sexes this time? Like, subscribe, and comment on my channel with that. You YouTubers and then you podcasters, like, subscribe, and comment with that also. Of that. So with that too, then the racket of the week this week too, it's kind of it doesn't have really too many markings on it. It's fairly old. It's probably about the 50s, 60s. This is called Trebling. This was for kind of the string savers. This has actually been kind of restrung with nylon, but this is trebling is what it's called. It started around about the 1800s, and it lasted up until about late 70s, early 80s, until the strings got better and used higher tech rackets and all that. And then they went to the dampeners that are in between the strings. But this actually was kind of a realm of, with the racket, it was to protect the strings from moving, in a sense. And they had on one side it was knots, that's kind of rough, and then on the other side it was smooth. So with that, you'd spin it and go smooth or knots, and then you'd call it, and then whoever ended up winning and calling it would win the serve or choose to return with that too. So with that racket, and this actually is called the Court King champion play racket is what it is. And so, with that, it's still a pretty old racket. Like I said, about the 50s, 60s racket is what it is. And so with that in mind, too, the racket here itself with the cloth around each there. It was really, these were actually used in the older wood frame rackets just because they thought it would firm up the head of the racket near the bottom of the head where it could be a little bit weaker. So that's what they used those for. back in the day too. And this racket actually, it is really actually imported and made in Pakistan, of all things. So it could have been imported from there and then put on and in a tennis sporting goods store back in the day, and they sold them out of there. Who knows? But that's how it was. It says made in Pakistan. So that's kind of an interesting aspect of rackets, that they can come from all over the world, of all things. But with that, I just kind of wanted to let you know, you podcasters out there, like, subscribe, comment. If you want to take a look at the racket that I'm showing, then go to my tennis podcast channel, Tennis Volley Talk. And then you YouTubers out there, you're looking at it right now. Still pretty good shape, though. It's a light racket, and it has a brass screw in it too. So it could even be older than that. Probably it could be even in the 40s, 30s or 40s even with that. But it just was restrung. So it could have had cat or cow gut string in it. And then they went in and they had it, just somebody strung it with the old nylon strings that they used to string rackets with back in the day too, in the 60s, 70s, and in that era. I used to have my racket strung with this very string right here that they have, the light nylon color string back in the day, back in Tulsa, where I was from and where I had my tennis years with that. So my tennis years also, the guy had his own little tennis court, and him and his son strung rackets, promised to bring a racket in one day and we'll get it back the next day. And I think they charged, it was like like probably $12 back then to string a racket or something. I don't know. But still, it strung them really quick and had a lot of tournaments that went through and people getting rackets done. They probably stayed up and strung quite a bit over the years with stringing the rackets. So with that, it's still a really good racket, strong, sturdy. Still, you could probably still hit lightly with it if you wanted to do that. So with that, that's the racket of the week, people. So I hope that you do like seeing the racket of the week, learning a little bit of history of rackets, and hopefully I have a few things in the works with some ex-pros possibility over the phone interviews. So we'll have to see how that pans out and see if I can get a hold of them and take it from there, and see what happens that way. So with that in mind, I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. Didn't eat too much. I know I did. I ate too much, but I always do. It's so good when you get to eat some good food. And with that, everybody, this week, if you're still playing outside in the warmer states, keep it up. Keep on playing. And with anybody that's in the colder states, you're heading inside and starting to play now. And also, everybody everybody that I've interviewed from Elk River, have a good week. And I'm glad that I've been able to talk to some Elk River people that play at Elk River, and able to talk about the tournament and the tournament, Randy Ronning, and how he runs the tournament along with Kurt Johnson for as many years as they've done it. So everybody out there, you have a good week, and I will then talk to you next week and see what happens next week. Everybody have a good week.